a funky party, just you and me. Hey, hey. Under the stars, they share a little bite. Ooh, yeah. Captain Kira and Funky Bones feeling right. With every step, the friendship grows. A funky connection, everybody knows. Now every night, when the moon is high, ooh, yeah. Kira's in the yard, Funky Bones nearby. Ooh. They share a moment in the cool night air. A funky kind of magic only they can share. Hey. Funky Bones, don't you bones, don't you hide. Ooh, yeah. Kira's got the apples open wide. Coming close, just a nibble, don't be afraid. No afraid. Look at them dogs. Funky Bones, don't you hide. Ooh, yeah. Kira's got the apples. Funky Bones, Funky Bones. Ooh, yeah. It's a funky party, just you and me. Hey, hey. Under the stars, they share a little bite. Yeah. Captain Kira and Funky Bones feeling right. With every step, the friendship grows. A funky connection, everybody knows. Now every night, when the moon is high, ooh, yeah. Kira's in the yard, Funky Bones nearby. They share a moment in the cool night air. Funky kind of magic only they can share. Funky Bones, Funky Bones, don't you hide. Ooh, yeah. Kira's got the apples open wide. Share a moment in the cool night air. Funky kind of magic only they can share.
Little gray luncheon in the hay. Chewing, skipping, never stays. Backyard wild, gotta play. Jumping, running every day. Grass is green under the sky. Little gray lets it all fly. Muddy paws, you don't care why. Wings of earth, he aim so high. Freedom in his furry flight. Sun and moon his only guide. No more walls, no cage inside. Little gray so wild inside. Boss and grind, he's on the move. No one's rules, he's got his groove. Nature's beat, he feels the soothe. Little gray always to prove. Under stars, under dreams. World ain't small, so it seems. Little gray's got big schemes. Life rolls on in flowing streams. Hay for breakfast, sun for noon. Stars and moonlight come so soon. Little gray under night's tune. Backyard life's a wild cartoon.
Teeny Scrappy Rabbit on a naughty spree. Bananas from Capits in Korea, quick to flee. Teasing sisters jumping wild and free. Leapfrogging over Posh Spice, too stealthy for me. Cookie bags crumble, Teeny hears the call. Ears twitch, nose sniff, eats it all. Planter sitting, feeling 10 feet tall. Life's a grand adventure, loving it all. Tiny eyes glinting, always on the prowl. Moving through the shadows, stealthy as an owl. Captain Stash pilfered, making her scowl. Teeny's got agility, swift as a howl. Cookie bags crumble, Teeny hears the call. Ears twitch, nose sniff, eats it all. Planter sitting, feeling 10 feet tall. Life's a grand adventure, loving it all. Few tons of playgrounds, Teeny roams at night. Feasting on treasures hidden out of sight. Teasing Posh Spice, leaving her in plight. Adventures in the moonlight, bunny delight. Captain's fast, but Teeny never slow. Running through hay mangers, nimbly on tiptoe. Heartbeats wild in on the show. Teeny's grand adventure, give her a toy. Cookie bags crumble, Teeny hears the call. Ears twitch, nose sniff, eats it all. Planter sitting, feeling 10 feet tall. Life's a grand adventure, loving it all. Few tons of playgrounds, Teeny roams at night. Feasting on treasures hidden out of sight. Teasing Posh Spice, leaving her in plight. Adventures in the moonlight, bunny delight. Captain's fast, but Teeny never slow. Running through hay mangers, nimbly on tiptoe. Heartbeats wild in on the show. Teeny's grand adventure, give her a toy. Give her a toy. Teeny's grand adventure, loving it all. giant with a heart so bold. Every story about her just has to be told. Dusty the rabbit, always in the know, running in circles with a gleeful glow. Dusty, Dusty, where have you been? Rolling in the hay, making everything green. Dusty, Dusty, always so sly, with your floppy ears reaching for the sky. In a kingdom far away, there's a princess named Kira, with beautiful brown locks and eyes that sparkle. Every day at twilight, she dances through the meadow, with bunnies by her side as the sun starts to retire. One bunny turned to two, and two turned to a dozen. But Captain Kira's heart's forever filled with love. Her kingdom now enchanted, a ballet of soft footsteps, magical melodies carried on wings of a dove. Ballerina princess, her bunnies by your side, a twirl and a pirouette as dreams come alive. Captain Kira dances, her heart so full of bliss, in a world enchanted where love will always persist.
Come on, guys. Oh, that's to do. Turn off the very loud stereo. Well, hi there. Hello. Are you going to come upstairs? Yes, I have a basket full of goodies. Yes, I do. I have a basket full of goodies for good little boys and girls. Yes. Well, why don't you follow me? Come on, guys. Hello, babies. How are my babies? Do we need a little more light in here? I think we do. Hi. A little more. Let there be light. Let there be buns. And there was buns. Oh, guys, we got apples. We have some apples. We have veggie carrots. Oh my goodness. Who likes apples? Do you like apples? I know I don't have any greens, you guys. I have seen a very vibrant, active chat, and it's been Hmm. Oh my gosh! Wait, how could I not have found? Okay, here we go. Guys, I am so sorry. You know what it is? My Android phone works fine, but this iPhone never works. I mean, it sometimes does, but like, why it wouldn't work sometimes? Private bun talk. Kira was talking to herself, and the rabbit's not us. She talking to herself. Oh my gosh. I can hear you now. Yeah, thank you. I mean, I did the whole Weast banana, Mr. Weast banana, banana, Mr. Weast banana, banana, Mr. Weast banana, 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 Mr. Weast banana split. Yum. I did that for Wes. I did a whole thing for Prestorian, our beloved giant Bunz historian. And I did the whole thing. He's just come in from Lothlorien while driving in his beloved DeLorean, dressed as the Mandalorian, and he's singing along to chants Gregorian. The beloved giant Bunz historian, and he's playing along in his cool accordion, but only with one arm, so he doesn't crash his car. And he's going to be going home to his girlfriend, who happens to be Salvadorian. She's gonna roast marshmallows and make him some Samoreans. And later tonight, we'll all be crashed out in our beds and couches and perhaps a floor like the bunnies. And then we'll all be a Snorian. Oh, guys, speaking of a Snorian, I am going to have a very long day tomorrow. And then it's going to be a day and night. And then I've got all this stuff going on tomorrow. I will not be able to stream unless anyone is really interested in a late night stream. And by late night, I mean like 11 o'clock at night. Or a little bit later. Because I will be checking in on the bunnies and feeding them, but oh my gosh, you got itchies. Sluggy has itchies. But yeah, you guys, I said hi to everyone. Kristen Cheyenne Star, Triple R, Kristen Cheyenne Star. She travels north, she travels south. Wait, she travels near, she travels far. Kristen Cheyenne Star, Triple R. AJ Punk, what you said, now waiting the prettiest bunny owner in the world. What I was saying earlier was 5 million points to your Hogwarts house. And then I saw Hewlin Mall, now waiting the presence of the wonderful Captain Kira, Queen of the Bunz. Another 5 million points to your Hogwarts house. So guys, please, each of your Hogwarts houses, your respective Hogwarts houses, because they're going to be really happy with you guys because those are super sweet comments to Captain Kira. I love you guys and appreciate you guys so much. Crystal with a K. I'm so thankful you are here. And AJ Punk. AJ Punk is the best Wait. AJ Punk is a wait. I gotta think of a good song for AJ Punk. We love you, AJ Punk. Oh, yes, we do. There's no better wrestler as good as you. When you're not near us, we're so blue. Oh, AJ Punk, we love you. Oh, it's true. And then, well, Hewlin Mall has a song written for him, but I should probably think of like one to sing for him when I'm in the chat. Just like acting, take two. You'll be up, Crystal with a K? Okay. Virginia L. I know, Virginia loves that stuff. Hopefully I can get stained glass for a class. I know, Kristen, that sounds so fun. I hope you do too. Donkey did an uppie while you were gone. Oh, you did? You did an uppie with a you wag your long tail? Did you wag your puppy dog tail? Did you do upsies? Oh my goodness, because he's the cutest boy in the world and he had to do an uppie. Yeah, you do uppie puppy. Oh, hi, Gwen. Who's this sweetheart? Yeah. But yeah, guys, what else did I miss? She's talking to herself. I know. And actually, you know what, guys? I was just talking to myself because Captain Kira's losing a little bit. It wasn't even a technical difficulty. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to talk to myself for 20 minutes. Whoops. Hi. Look at these loungeroonies. We got Jabba. Hi, Blabba Jabba. Hello. We got our little gray. Such a good boy. Wes. Yes, Wes is the Giant Bunz director. And take two and action. Giant Bunz. Day, whatever it is, 398. I mean, we're like getting close to like 400 days. Oh, Teeny, am I getting into your space? I got into Teeny's space, but you guys, these floors are so spanking clean. I scrubbed them with vinegar. Oh, they're just beauteous. But yeah, guys, I do want to move the giant bunzoos into my room so they can sleep with me. Not all at once, not all of them at once, because some will try to kill each other. But doesn't that sound fun, you guys? Hi. Hello, Slugbert. Hello. Hi, Dusty. But yeah, guys, I was at church tonight. As usual, I saw Jaslyn and I saw Kristen, Cheyenne Star Triple R. It was a very nice. I was looking forward to it. And yeah, I'm having having a hard time going to two different churches because I heard all about the wonderful church service last Sunday, that I was at another church during that time, and I missed out, a service. It sounded like it was a very, very fun time. Anyway, that's where I was, so I was a little bit late getting to the stream. But again, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's like more people are able to come. Oops. That or Spanish. I know the Spanish teacher I had for elementary school since kindergarten. Really? Oh, that would be wonderful. I love favorite old teachers that you've had before. In high school, I had an English teacher sophomore year, and I just fell in love with this guy. I mean, not, romantically, but just he clicked with me. He had such an easygoing style, and you know what I mean? He like trusted all the students, and he respected them, and he just expected them to do well, and we did. We all did well because he expected us to. I don't know how to say it, but and he was funny. Oh gosh, that was the other thing. He was so funny. And he made it really interesting. He made everything really interesting. And then I got him again my senior year of high school, and I was like, yes, my el favorito teacher, right? Oh, I miss that guy. He was so fun to discuss novels with. We read all his books. The required reading novels. You guys, what is the book, the really disturbing book that everyone has to read? Lord of the Flies. Lord of the Flies. Have you guys all read that one? That was a disturbing book, but it was a very truth-telling book of like how society can be, how people treat each other, and just sociological, societal issues. Don't forget to like the stream if you haven't already. Please like and subscribe. Don't drink and drive. Please just like and subscribe. Teeny's such a rascal. She would keep you up all night. You have to go. Okay, bye, sweetheart. I will see you soon, DJ Jazzy Lynn Star, double R. She's my DJ Jazzy Lynn. I'm going to read that book in English, Lord of the Flies. Yeah, I think that is a really common one to have to read. There's some disturbing stuff in there, though, Kristen, so watch out, because I'm still disturbed by it. I'm not saying it wasn't worth reading in a very good classic book, And but it shows some of the darker sides of humanity, and kind of graphically and violently. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. It kind of reminds me of that movie Deliverance a little bit, some of the stuff. But hi, hello, hello, Mr. Sluggy Pants. Oh, and Dusty's gonna snuggle with Sluggy, my sweet babies. Um, I didn't have to read Lord of the Flies, but I ended up reading it later in life. Yeah, it's one of those books. It's so iconic, and it's referenced so much in real life that I think, as much as I kind of wish I hadn't read it, like I didn't know what happened in that book, it's like, well, I mean, the world is a place where violent things happen, and it's when because from what okay, it's been a long time since I've read it, but it's all about power struggles, and it really references like political systems and you know crowd gang whatever cultural mentality where people gang up on others. And I mean, it's all that stuff that does happen, and we see the results in society as riots, wars, or just, hatred and hostility for other groups of people or just individuals. And, and the fallout is so negative in the book, but, also in real life. So it's not the worst thing in the world to read. Just, it does leave an impression on you to you know what, let's love our fellow man and respect them, and don't be power hungry. you know don't think that having power over others is going to make your life any better, or if certainly any the lives of other people, or save you as a culture. I mean, one person ruling them all. Tyrannical rulers are never really all that great of a time, are they? It doesn't end up to be all that fun when there's a dictatorship, right? I think history has shown that. Um, I know, Wes. I always think of Piggy. I do. Oh man. I mean, we all become a piggy now and then. Oh my gosh, you guys! Beautiful sunset out there. There is a beautiful, oh, what a beautiful sunset. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a wonderful feeling. Everything's going a giant Bunz way. There's a bright giant Bunz in the meadow. There's a bright giant Bunz in the meadow. The ears are so high they could reach to the sky, and then the little snout is twitching and waving whispers goodbye. Oh, what a giant Bunz evening! Oh, what a giant Bunz day! I've got a giant Bunz feeling. Everything's going my way. Hey, do we want to read any more of the book? I was just thinking, wait a minute, you guys, I was just thinking of Brave New World. Oh my gosh. That's not the book because I'm reading 1984, but Brave New World. Oh my gosh, that is another book I need to reread with all the alphas and the betas and the gammas, all the people who are assigned different like caste system roles in humanity. Oh, it just reminds me a lot of 1984. Did you guys read Brave New World? Aldous Huxley, Brave New World. He's a master. Whew, that is an awesome book. Really dark though and creepy, especially in this day and age. We got people, are we going to start cloning people? Or are we going to start, determining exactly what people are going to look like and be like and stuff that makes you think when you read books like that. In English, I have to read like 4 different books. That's cool. Yeah, let us know what you're reading, Kristen, and maybe we can talk about those books on the stream. Oh, we got a lineup. Oh, someone did a potty over there. I see that. Who did that, Teeny? Was it you? I know you're kind of close by there. So is Delph. Hi. Hello, mister. He's a good little boy. Oh, he's the best boy. Yes, he's the best boy in the world. He's a papa. He's a papa rabbit. Yes, he is. Hi, Dad. Oh wait, that was Hewlin Mouse saying you had to read 4. I'm on one. I'm off of one. I'm not on one. I'm off one. Of Mice and Men, The Great Gatsby. Yeah, I'd never read Of Mice and Men. I did read The Great Gatsby though. That was great. F. Scott Fitzgerald. Yeah. Should we go, guys? Should we go back to oh wait, I can't pull it up on this phone because this phone is my camera and it will turn off ever since the fateful update to my phone. Let's see if I can pull up let me see here. Okay. I'm gonna look up online novel. Um oh my gosh, now I can't remember the name of it. What's the book? Not Brave New World. 1984. Oh, someone scanned the book. Cool. It's actually like real pages. Oh, cool. Let's see, where were we? The Ministry of Love was the really frightening one. Okay, the hidden machine gun nests. Oh, and then he drinks the weird thing. Oh, and then he's reading. He's got a journal. He's got a diary that he can write in. Wait, guys, should we go out? Do you guys want to go out and see the rest of the sunset? What do we want to do, guys? Gosh, there we go. Crystal with a K read The Scarlet Letter of Mice and Men, The Great Gatsby. Kristen also said she has. Oh, she did? Okay. My brother played Lenny in his high school play of Mice and Men. But I've also seen the Of Mice and Men movie with Gary Sinise and John Malkovich. Oh my gosh, I forgot that existed. Okay, you want to see the okay, let's see the sunset, guys. We're going outside. Giant Bunz field trip. Oh, I wish I could take all the bunnies with me. But I don't think that's the best idea for us tonight. We gotta train them to go on little leashes and collars and like a little harness where they can pull me. Oh my gosh, it's getting very dark out, but look at the sunset, you guys. I'm gonna try not to fall down the stairs here. I have to fix my outdoor lanterns so I can actually have light at night. That would be nice. Yeah, guys, let's see. Let's do this. Why not? Why miss a beautiful sunset? And these poor trees, now that they've fallen, I can really see the sunset even more. Oh, and my little bat is here. Oh, I love it. It's like a tropical jungle out. We have loud bugs. We got our batty bat flying right over my head. What a cutie. Hello, Mr. Bat. Eat all those skeeters. We got a lot of mosquitoes out here. Sure do. We got fireflies. Yeah, it's pretty glorious out here, you guys. It really is. Bunzville is pretty darn funsville. It's hot outside. Yeah. Kristen, I saw that it is going to be getting even hotter this weekend, like a lot hotter. I am just, I don't know, I'm kind of surprised, but is it like this every year? I mean, August is always hot, but all of July was so hot. Just glad we got the power on yesterday after our storms. That was helpful. AJ, you mentioned Randy Travis in the chat not long ago. He was in my town recently, Fort Worth. He ate at Joe T. Garcia's, a popular Tex-Mex restaurant. A lot of famous people have eaten there. Cool. What's the temperature there? I mean, like right now, it's totally fine. It's actually cooling down. It's probably only like maybe 80 degrees. But I think it was like maybe 91 today, or I don't know. It wasn't quite as hot as it's been because we got all that rain yesterday, but I think it's going to be like 94 over the weekend. Oh, that's pretty darn hot. What about you? What about you, Crystal? How hot is it going to be there? Or how hot is it there? But hey, guys, maybe I could read while. Am I going to get bitten by every bug in the county? While we're sitting out in the sunset, could we maybe, let me see if I can pull the book up again. Where did the book go?
still don't completely know how to use his phone. Okay. Where did we leave off? Okay, so he was just talking about getting out his diary. Should we back up a little bit to where he's it says the thing that he was about to do was to open a diary. This was not illegal. Nothing was illegal since there were no longer any laws, but but if detected, it was reasonably certain that it would be punished by death, or at least by 25 years in a forced labor camp. Winston a nib into the oh fitted a nib into the pen holder and sucked it to get the grease off. Okay, yeah, we did read that part. Okay, let's see. Trying to think where. Let's see. Okay, wait. Down, 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 down. Okay, okay. I think I found where we are. Okay. For some time, he sat gazing stupidly at the paper. The telescreen had changed over to strident military music. It was curious that he seemed not merely to have lost. Merely to have lost the pow. Oh, power. He had lost the power of expressing himself, but even to have forgotten what it was that he had originally intended to say. For weeks past, he had been making ready for this moment, and it had never crossed his mind that anything would be needed except courage. The actual writing would be easy. All he had to do was to transfer to paper the interminable, restless monologue that had been running inside his head literally for years. At this moment, however, even the monologue had dried up. Moreover, his varicose ulcer had begun itching unbearably. He dared not scratch it, because if he did so, it always became inflamed. The seconds were ticking by. He was conscious of nothing except the blankness of the page in front of him, the itching of the skin above his ankle, the blaring of the music, and a slight booziness caused by the gin. I hope I'm like holding the camera up enough. I'm trying to look down at this other phone. Suddenly he began writing in sheer panic, only imperfectly aware of what he was setting down. His small but childish handwriting straggled up and down the page, shredding first its capital letters and finally even its full stops. April 4th, 1984. Last night to the flicks, all war films, one very good one of a ship full of refugees being bombed somewhere in the Mediterranean. Audience much amused by shots of a great, huge, fat man trying to swim away with a helicopter after him. First, you saw him wallowing along in the water like a porpoise. Then you saw him through the helicopter's gun sights. Then he was full of holes, and the sea round him turned pink, and he sank as suddenly as though the holes had let in the water. Audience shouting with laughter when he sank. Then you saw a lifeboat full of children with a helicopter hovering over it. There was a middle-aged woman, might have been a Jewess, sitting up the bow with a little boy about 3 years old in her arms, little boy screaming with fright and hiding his head between her breasts, as if he was trying to burrow right into her, and the woman putting her arms round him and comforting him, although she was blue with fright herself all the time, covering him up as much as possible, as if she thought her arms could keep the bullets off him. Then the helicopter planted a 20-kilo bomb in among them. Terrific flash, and the boat went all to matchwood. Then there was a wonderful shot of a child's arm going up, 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 right up into the air. A helicopter with a camera in its nose must have followed it up, and there was a lot of applause from the party seats. But a woman down in the prole part of the house suddenly started kicking up a fuss and shouting they didn't oughter have showed it, not in front of kids, and didn't it ain't right, not in front of kids. It ain't until the police had turned her out. I don't suppose anything happened to her. Nobody cares what the proles say. Typical prole reaction. What? This doesn't seem okay. Then it says Winston stopped writing. Oh, that's why. Partly because he was suffering from a cramp. He did not know what had made him pour out this stream of rubbish. But the curious thing was that while he was doing so, a totally different memory had clarified itself in his mind to the point where he almost felt equal to writing it down. It was, he now realized, because of this other incident that he had suddenly decided to come home and begin the diary today. Oh my gosh, you guys. It's getting dark. Wait, let me switch back to the YouTube chat. Mid 80s, currently low 90s this weekend. Yeah. Similar to the Bunzers. Oh, good old Joe T's. That place feels bigger every time I go there. Let's go. I'm gonna go back. I'm getting kind of bitten up. I'm gonna go back inside and maybe we'll read like a little bit more of this. It's an interesting book though, you guys. And it's been a long time since I've read it. I keep wanting Mexican food. You guys living in Texas, it sounds like you've got some wonderful Mexican food there. And I keep seeing those pictures of the homemade tortillas that Hewlin all made. Oh my gosh, every time I see that, I'm like drooling. Hello, Grace. Hi, babies. Hi, guys. There are so many bugs out there, you guys. It was beautiful, though. I just need to wear bug spray next time. That's what I need to do. There's a thought. Right, guys? Yeah. Do we want to read a little bit more? There's like maybe one other section that has to do with the diary part. I'm kind of curious because he said he just remembered an important thing. He remembered an incident. You've got Randy Travis Fange in the house. Let's see here. Okay.
It was now he realized because of this other incident that he had suddenly decided to come home and begin the diary today. It had happened that morning at the ministry, if anything so nebulous could be said to happen. It was nearly 1100, and in the records department where Winston worked, they were dragging the chairs out of the cubicles and grouping them in the center of the hall opposite the big telescreen in preparation for the 2 minutes hate. Winston was just taking his place in one of the middle rows when two people whom he knew by sight but had never spoken to came unexpectedly into the room. One of them was a girl whom he often passed in the corridors. He did not know her name, but he knew that she worked in the fiction department. Presumably, since he had sometimes seen her with oily hands and carrying a spanner, she had some mechanical job on one of the novel writing machines. She was a bold-looking girl of about 27, with thick hair, a freckled face, and swift athletic movements. A narrow scarlet sash, emblem of the Junior Anti-Sex League, was wound several times round the waist of her overalls, just tightly enough to bring out the shapeliness of her hips. Winston had disliked her from the very first moment of seeing her. He knew the reason. It was because of the atmosphere of hockey fields and cold baths and community hikes and general clean-mindedness which she managed to carry about with her. He disliked nearly all women, and above all the young ones, who were the most bigoted adherents of the party, the swallowers of slogans, the amateur spies and nosers out of unorthodoxy. But this particular girl gave him the impression of being more dangerous than most. Once, when they passed in the corridor, she gave him a quick sidelong glance which seemed to pierce right into him, and for a moment had filled him with black terror. The idea had even crossed his mind that she might be an agent of the thought police. That, if it was true, was very unlikely. Still, he continued to feel a peculiar uneasiness, which had fear mixed up in it as well as hostility, whenever she was anywhere near him. The other person was a man named O'Brien, a member of the inner party and holder of some post so important and remote that Winston had only a dim idea of its nature. A momentary hush passed over the group of people round the chairs as they saw the black overalls of an inner party member approaching. O'Brien was a large, burly man with a thick neck and a coarse, humorous, brutal face. In spite of his formidable appearance, he had a certain charm of manner. He had a trick of resettling his spectacles on his nose, which was curiously disarming, in some indefinable way, curiously civilized. It was a gesture which, if anyone had still thought in such terms, might have recalled an 18th century nobleman offering his snuff box. Winston had seen O'Brien perhaps a dozen times in almost as many years. He felt deeply drawn to him, and not solely because he was intrigued by the contrast between O'Brien's urbane manner and his prize fighter's physique. Much more, it was because of a secretly held belief, or perhaps not even a belief, merely a hope, that O'Brien's political orthodoxy was not perfect. Something in his face suggested it irresistibly. And again, perhaps it was not even unorthodoxy that was written in his face, but simply intelligence. But at any rate, he had the appearance of being a person that you could talk to if somehow you could cheat the telescreen and get him alone. Winston had never made the smallest effort to verify this guess. Indeed, there was no way of doing so. At this moment, O'Brien glanced at his wristwatch, saw that it was nearly 1100, and evidently decided to stay in the records department until the 2 minutes hate was over. He took a chair in the same row as Winston, a couple of places away. A small, sandy-haired woman who worked in the next cubicle to Winston was between them. The girl with dark hair was sitting immediately behind. The next moment, a hideous, grinding speech as some monstrous machine running without oil burst from the big telescreen at the end of the room. It was a noise that set one's teeth on edge and bristled the hair at the back of one's neck. The hate had started. As usual, the face of Emmanuel Goldstein, the enemy of the people, had flashed onto the screen. There were hisses here and there among the audience. The little sandy-haired woman gave a squeak of mingled fear and disgust. Goldstein was the renegade and backslider who once, long ago, how long ago nobody quite remembered, had been one of the leading figures of the party, almost on a level with Big Brother himself, and then had engaged in counter-revolutionary activities, had been condemned to death, and had mysteriously escaped and disappeared. Programs of the 2 Minutes Hate varied from day to day, but there was none in which Goldstein was not the principal figure. He was the primal traitor, the earliest defiler of the party's purity. All subsequent crimes against the party, all treacheries, acts of sabotage, heresies, deviations, sprang directly out of his teaching. Somewhere or other he was still alive and hatching his conspiracies, perhaps somewhere beyond the sea, under the protection of his foreign paymasters. Perhaps even, so it was occasionally rumored, in some hiding place in Oceania itself. How are we doing here, guys? How we doing? Have you guys tried crumble cookies? You know, I haven't, Kristen. Cheyenne Star. Are they any good? And do they have gluten-free? Gluten-free, dairy-free? Kristen Cheyenne Star, triple R, Kristen Cheyenne Star. She travels near, she travels far, Kristen Cheyenne Star. Num num num. We doing good, G? Oh, you were listening? Okay, cool. All right. I like this. I like this. Okay. Wait, where? Oh, I had it pulled up on this thing. Yeah. See if I can prop this phone up or something. There we go. Okay. Winston's diaphragm was constricted. He could never see the face of Goldstein without a painful mixture of emotions. It was a lean Jewish face with a great fuzzy aureole of white hair and a small goatee beard. A clever face, and yet somehow inherently despicable, with a kind of senile silliness in the long, thin nose, near the end of which a pair of spectacles was perched. It resembled the face of a sheep, and the voice, too, had a sheep-like quality. Goldstein was delivering his usual venomous attack upon the doctrines of the party, an attack so exaggerated and perverse that a child should have been able to see through it, and yet just plausible enough to fill one with an alarmed feeling that other people, less level-headed than oneself, might be taken in by it. He was abusing Big Brother. He was denouncing the dictatorship of the party. He was demanding the immediate conclusion of peace with Eurasia. He was advocating freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom of assembly, freedom of thought. He was crying hysterically that the revolution had been betrayed, and all this in rapid polysyllabic speech, which was a sort of parody of the habitual style of the orators of the party, and even contained newspeak words. More newspeak words, indeed, than any party member would normally use in real life. And all the while, lest one should in any doubt as to the reality which Goldstein's specious claptrap covered, behind his head on the telescreen, there marched the endless columns of the Eurasian army, Row after row of solid-looking men with expressionless Asiatic faces who swam up to the surface of the screen and vanished, to be replaced by others exactly similar. The dull, rhythmic tramp of soldiers' boots formed the background to Goldstein's bleating voice. Before the hate had proceeded for 30 seconds, uncontrollable exclamations of rage were breaking out from half the people in the room. Self-satisfied sheep-like face on the screen and the terrifying power of the Eurasian army behind it were too much to be borne. Besides, the sight or even the thought of Goldstein produced fear and anger automatically. He was an object of hatred more constant than either Eurasia or East Asia. Since when Oceania was at war with one of these powers, it was generally at peace with the other. But what was strange was that although Goldstein was hated and despised by everybody, although every day and 1,000 times a day on platforms, on the telescreen, in newspapers, in books, his theories were refuted, smashed, ridiculed, held up to the general gaze for the pitiful rubbish that they were. In spite of all this, his influence never seemed to grow less. Always there were fresh dupes waiting to be seduced by him. A day never passed when spies and saboteurs acting under his directions were not unmasked. Oh, the thoughts, a day never passed when spies and saboteurs acting under his directions were not unmasked by the thought police. He was the commander of a vast, shadowy army, an underground network of conspirators dedicated to the overthrow of the state. The Brotherhood, its name was supposed to be. There were also whispered stories of a terrible book, a compendium of all the heresies, of which Goldstein was the author and which circulated clandestinely here and there. It was a book without a title. People referred to it, if at all, simply as the book without a title. Oh, wait. People referred to it, if at all, simply as the book. But one knew of such things only through vague rumors. Neither the Brotherhood nor the book was a subject that any ordinary party member would mention if there was a way of avoiding it. In its second minute, the hate rose to a frenzy. People were leaping up and down in their places and shouting at the tops of their voices in an effort to drown the maddening, bleating voice that came from the screen. The little sandy-haired woman had turned bright pink, and her mouth was opening and shutting like that of a landed fish. Even O'Brien's heavy face was flushed. He was sitting very straight in his chair, his powerful chest swelling and quivering as though he were standing up to the assault of a wave. The dark-haired girl behind Winston had begun crying out, "Swine, swine, swine," and suddenly she picked up a heavy Newspeak dictionary and flung it at the screen. It struck Goldstein's nose and bounced off. The voice continued inexorably. In a lucid moment, Winston found that he was shouting with the others and kicking his heel violently against the rung of his chair. The horrible thing about the 2-minute hate was not that one was obliged to act a part, but on the contrary, that it was impossible to avoid joining in. Within 30 seconds, any pretense was always unnecessary. A hideous ecstasy of fear and vindictiveness, a desire to kill, to torture, to smash faces in with a sledgehammer, seemed to flow through the whole group of people like an electric current, turning one even against one's will into a grimacing, screaming lunatic. And yet the rage that one felt was an abstract, undirected emotion which could be switched from one object to another like the flame of a blow lamp. Thus, at one moment, Winston's hatred was not turned against Goldstein at all, but on the contrary, against Big Brother, the party, and the thought police. And at such moments, his heart went out to the lonely, derided heretic on the screen, sole guardian of truth and sanity in a world of lies. And yet, the very next instant, he was at one with the people about him, and all that was said of Goldstein seemed to him to be true. All those moments, his secret loathing of Big Brother changed into adoration, and Big Brother seemed to tower up, an invincible, fearless protector, standing like a rock against the hordes of Asia and Goldstein. In spite of his isolation, his helplessness, and the doubt that hung about his very existence, seemed like some sinister enchanter, capable by the mere power of his voice by wrecking the structure of civilization. It was even possible at moments to switch one's hatred this way or that by a voluntary act, suddenly by the sort of violent effort with which one wrenches one's head away from the pillow in a nightmare. Winston succeeded in transferring his hatred from the face on the screen to the dark-haired girl behind him. Vivid, beautiful hallucinations flashed through his mind. He would flog her to death with a rubber truncheon. He would tie her naked to a stake and shoot her full of arrows like Saint Sebastian. He would ravish her and cut her throat at the moment of climax. Oh boy. Better than before, moreover, he realized why it was that he hated her. He hated her because she was young and pretty and sexless, because he wanted to go to bed with her and would never do so, because round her sweet, supple waist, which seemed to ask you to encircle it with your arm, there was only the odious scarlet sash, aggressive symbol of chastity. The hate rose to its climax. The voice of Goldstein had become an actual sheep's bleat, and for an instant, the face changed into that of a sheep. And then the sheep face melted into the figure of a Eurasian soldier who seemed to be advancing, huge and terrible, his submachine gun roaring and seeming to spring out of the surface of the screen, so that some of the people in the front row actually flinched backwards in their seats. But in the same moment, drawing a deep sigh of relief from everybody, the hostile figure melted into the face of Big Brother, black-haired, black-mustachioed, full of power and mysterious calm, and so vast that it almost filled up the screen. Nobody heard what Big Brother was saying. It was merely a few words of encouragement, the sort of words that are uttered in the din of battle, not distinguishable individually, but restoring confidence by the fact of being spoken. Then the face of Big Brother faded away again, and instead the three slogans of the party stood out in bold capitals. Wear peace. Wear peace? Freedom is slavery. Ignorance is strength. But the face of Big Brother seemed to persist for several seconds on the screen, as though the impact that it had made on everyone's eyeballs was too vivid to wear off immediately. The little sandy-haired woman had flung herself forward over the back of the chair in front of her. With a tremulous murmur that sounded like, "My Savior!" she extended her arms toward the screen. Then she buried her face in her hands. It was apparent that she was uttering a prayer. At this moment, the entire group of people broke into a deep, slow, rhythmical chant of B, B, over and over again, very slowly, with a long pause between the first B and the second. A heavy, murmurous sound, somehow curiously savage, in the background of which one seemed to hear the stamp of naked feet and the throbbing of tom-toms. For perhaps as much as 30 seconds they kept it up. It was a refrain that was often heard in moments of overwhelming emotion. Partly it was sort of hymn to the wisdom and majesty of Big Brother, but still more it was an act of self-hypnosis, a deliberate drowning of consciousness by means of rhythmic noise. Winston's entrails seemed to grow cold. In a 2 minutes hate, he could not help sharing in the general delirium, but this subhuman chanting of be, bold, be, always filled him with horror. Of course he chanted with the rest. It was impossible to do otherwise. To disassemble your feelings, to control your face, to do what everyone else was doing was an instinctive reaction. But there was a space of a couple of seconds during which the expression of his eyes might conceivably have betrayed him. And it was exactly at this moment that the significant thing happened, if indeed it did happen. Momentarily, he caught O'Brien's eye. O'Brien had stood up. He had taken off his spectacles and was in the act of resettling them on his nose with his characteristic gesture. But there was a fraction of a second when their eyes met, and for as long as it took to happen, Winston knew. Yes, he knew that O'Brien was thinking the same thing as himself. An unmistakable message had passed. It was a thought. Their two minds had opened, and the thoughts were flowing from one to the other through their eyes. I am with you, O'Brien seemed to be saying to him. I know precisely what you are feeling. I know all about your contempt, your hatred, your disgust. Don't worry, I am on your side. And then the flash of intelligence was gone. And O'Brien's face was as inscrutable as everybody else's. That was all, and he was already uncertain whether it had happened. Such incidents never had any sequel. All that they did was to keep him alive in all they did was to keep alive in him the belief or hope that others besides him were the enemies of the party. Perhaps the rumors of vast underground conspiracies were true after all. Perhaps the Brotherhood really existed. It was impossible, in spite of the endless arrests and confessions and executions, to be sure that the Brotherhood was not simply a myth. Some days he believed in it, some days not. There was no evidence, only fleeting glimpses that might mean anything or nothing. Snatches of overheard conversation, faint scribbles on lavatory walls. Once, even when two strangers met, a small movement of the hand which had looked as though it might be a signal of recognition. It was all guesswork. Very likely he had imagined everything. He had gone back to his cubicle without looking at O'Brien again. The idea of following up their momentary contact hardly crossed his mind. It would have been inconceivably dangerous, even if he had known how to set about doing it. For a second, 2 seconds, they had exchanged an equivocal glance, and that was the end of the story. But even that was a memorable event in the locked loneliness in which one had to live. Winston roused himself and sat up straighter. He let out a belch. The gin was rising from his stomach. His eyes refocused on the page. He discovered that while he sat helplessly musing, he had also been writing, as though by automatic action, and it was no longer the same cramped, awkward handwriting as before. His pen had slid voluptuously over the smooth paper, printing in large, neat capitals. Down with Big Brother, 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 over and over again, filling half a page. He could not help feeling a twinge of panic. It was absurd, since the writing of those particular words was not more dangerous than the initial act of opening the diary. But for a moment, he was tempted to tear out the spoiled pages and abandon the enterprise altogether. He did not do so, however, because he knew that it was useless. Whether he wrote down with Big Brother or whether he refrained from writing, it made no difference. Whether he went on with the diary or whether he did not go on with it made no difference. The thought police would get him just the same. He had committed would still have committed, even if he had never set pen to paper, the essential crime that contained all others in itself. Thought crime, they called it. Thought crime was not a thing that you could be concealed forever. You might dodge successfully for a while, even for years, but sooner or later they were bound to get you. It was always at night. The arrests invariably happened at night. A sudden jerk out of sleep, the rough hand shaking your shoulder, the lights glaring in your eyes, the ring of hard faces round the bed. In the vast majority of cases, there was no trial, no report of the arrest. People simply disappeared, always during the night. Your name was removed from the registers. Every record of everything you'd ever done was wiped out. Your one-time existence was denied and then forgotten. You were abolished, annihilated, vaporized was the usual word. For a moment, he was seized by a kind of hysteria. He began writing in a hurried, untidy scrawl. They'll shoot me. I don't care. They'll shoot me in the back of the neck. I don't care. Down with Big Brother. They always shoot you in the back of the neck. I don't care. Down with Big Brother. He sat back in his chair, slightly ashamed of himself, and laid down the pen. The next moment, he started violently. There was a knocking at the door. Already, he sat as still as a mouse, in a futile hope that whoever it was might go away after a single attempt. But no, the knocking was repeated. The worst thing of all would be to delay. His heart was thumping like a drum, but his face, from long habit, was probably expressionless. He got up and moved heavily towards the door. Okay, then we're getting to chapter 2. Why don't we stop there? What's going to happen next, you guys? He's got to knock at the door. Oh, what's it going to be? Is it going to be the thought police? Kira is looking extra pretty tonight. Thank you, darling. Thank you. Wait, did I hear Lillian? Liliana, mi amiga bonita, chiquita bonita, Lilian. Momentarily awoken from slumber. Hi and good night, Kira Donkey and all. Oh, donkers. Lillian says hello and good night. Yes, Donkey sends all of his floof and love and twitchy snout to you. Yes. Yes, he does. It's your Lillian. Your Lillian came to visit you. I'd actually love to see Lillian visit for real. I've been thinking about you, Lillian. Truly. Truly, truly, truly. Oh, what are we reading again? We are reading George Orwell's 1984. I made my neighbor go get me a crumble cookie. Oh, that's so great. You have to tell them no gluten and no dairy. Okay. All right. Sorry, I didn't really know what's going on. That's okay. I don't either, really. But yeah, we read 1984. Not for kids. Yeah. There's some stuff in there, right? Story time with Kira. But yeah, let's wrap it up, babes. Kira hungry. Kira hoggy. Yes. Some people say hungry, some people say hoggy. A hoggy. But yeah, good night, everybody. Good night, Lilian, mi amiga bonita, favorita. Oh my gosh. Much love to your bubs, bubby. Bubbly, lovely, bubbly, doubly. Much love to Hewlin Mall, Hewlin Mall. He's the Hewliest in the mall. He can make taco shells. He can make homemade tortillas. Look out, here comes a Hewlin man. Here comes a Hewlin Mall. Much love to you, Miss Lisa Kissy. Much love, Crystal with a K. Much love to Mr. Weez Banana, Mr. Weez Banana. And much love to our giant Bunz historian, Prestorian. And much love to Kristen Cheyenne Star Triple R, who's having a crumble cookie. And she is very lucky to be eating a cookie on giant Bunz. Oh, did I say cookie? Oh, good. I hope you didn't hear that. I hope his little ears didn't hear that. Did I say cookie? A cookie, cookie, cookie. Gwynnie will hear cookie. Gwynnie will totally hear cookie. Oh, he's kind of sleeping. Posh, did you hear cookie? Did you hear the word cookie? Okay, I can't. I'm about to wake up Gwynnie with the word cookie. Much love to GJ Jazzy Star, who is not here anymore, but she was. And much love to AJ Punk. I almost forgot you. Oh my goodness, AJ. Much love to the oh gosh, what song did I do for him? We love you, AJ Punk. Oh yes, we do. You're the biggest wrestler. And wait, we love you, AJ Punk. Oh yes, we do. There is no wrestler as good as you. Yeah. I think I got everyone. Thanks so much for being here, guys. I'm enjoying this book. We're getting to a really good part. They just knocked on his door. He was just trying to write in his diary, but it's totally illegal. It's illegal to even have a thought against Big Brother, you guys. Crazy stuff. Who is knocking at his door? I don't remember. It's been a bazillion years since I've read this book. Is it going to be that guy that he locked eyes with, the cool, intelligent guy? Or is it going to be like the thought police? Or is it going to be the girl that he finds attractive, but she's wearing a chastity belt, literally? Chastity sash. Gosh, who could it be? Who could it be? The guy in 1984 has someone at his door. Winston. Winston, huh? Donkey read Kristen's comment about Crumble and was like, did you just say cookie? I know. Big love for the big guy in the chat and everyone else. And you guys, I'll pop up a song and then I'm gonna have some food. What do you think about that? Well, maybe I can leave the camera on Pretty Posh. See, maybe I can make like a little camera stand with this. Maybe not. There we go. All right, back, guys. Oh, this is such a big girl. I love you. Yes, I love you, Jabba. Jabba has hoops the size of a pony.
a funky party, just you and me. Hey, hey. Under the stars, they share a little bite. Ooh, yeah. Captain Kira and Funky Bones feeling right. With every step, the friendship grows. A funky connection, everybody knows. Now every night, when the moon is high, ooh, yeah. Kira's in the yard, Funky Bones nearby. Ooh. They share a moment in the cool night air. A funky kind of magic only they can share. Hey. Funky Bones, don't you bones, don't you hide. Oh yeah. Kira's got the apples open wide. Coming close, just a nibble, don't be afraid. No afraid. Look at them dogs. Funky Bones, don't you hide. Oh yeah. Kira's got the apples. Funky Bones, Funky Bones. Oh yeah. It's a funky party, just you and me. Hey, hey,
Under
Under the stars, they share a little bite. Yeah. Captain Kira and Funky Bones feeling right. With every step, the friendship grows. A funky connection, everybody knows. Now every night, when the moon is high, Kira's in the yard, Funky Bones nearby. They share a moment in the cool night air. Funky kind of magic only they can share. Funky Bones, Funky Bones, don't you hide. Kira's got the apples open wide. Share a moment in the cool night air. A funky kind of magic only they can share.
little gray munching on that hay. Chewing, skipping, never stays. Backyard wild, gotta play. Jumping, running every day. Grass is green under the sky. Little gray lets it all fly. Muddy paws, he don't care why. Wings of earth, he aims so high. Freedom in his furry flight. Sun and moon his only guide. No more walls, no cage inside. Little gray so wild inside. Posh and he's on the move. No one's rules, he's got his groove. Nature's beat, he feels the soothe. Little gray always to prove. Under stars, under dreams. World ain't small, so it seems. Little gray's got big schemes. Life rolls on in flowing streams. Hay for breakfast, sun for noon. Stars and moonlight come so soon. Little gray under night's tune. Backyard life's a wild cartoon.
Scrappy rabbit on a naughty spree. Bananas from cat pits in Korea, quick to flee. Teasing sisters jumping wild and free. Leapfrogging over Posh spies, too stealthy for me. Cookie bags crumble, teeny here's a call.